Today is Wednesday, October 26th. There is this one, I'll call it as bluntly as possible. It is a problem. And this problem is called bag holder. Okay? So I have been mislabeling it, saying that I have issues cutting losses fast. But it has occurred to me that there is a name for this this thing called bag holding. So to precisely define what bag holding is, I suppose I'm holding a bag and it's empty, okay? But I'm still holding it and holding it and holding it, holding it, waiting for something to drop or something to happen. But in life, nothing, there isn't a thing called free lunch. It costs something. So I have been attempting to now, I lived through this multiple times on really big losses because I'm holding the bag. So my mindset is this. I did that today. So I was up about 3.5 R. Okay, I was up 3.5 R. And then what I've noticed is that I added a trade. I made another trade, and this trade immediately began to turn against my thesis. Okay, right? So I was holding the bag right off the bat. So I'm holding the bag. Okay. So I'm holding, and my thought was this. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it for a little bit longer. Who knows? Maybe it's going to reverse. I'm just gonna hold it just a little bit, okay? So by this time, 0.2 R has passed. Okay, I'm thinking this is after everything is done, and I'm just like, okay, so I'm positive today. I really don't have to do anything, really, right? I really don't have to do anything, but I just got in because of just pure boredom. And I'm thinking, okay, it's really essentially a, zero worry trade, I thought, right? So my mindset was that, okay, how far could it move anyway, right? Because the trade was a very small amount of trade. Now I'm thinking, okay, I'm in. Essentially, it's called a worry-free trade. It's essentially the size that I traded and the trade that I made for that particular setting essentially was a worry-free trade, I thought. Then it started moving against me still. And I can see that the chart that I created, that I looked at, and I wrote down on the chart on a different stock. I'm saying to myself, oh, this is I've told a coworker of mine, whenever it does once, twice, 3, 4, and then it dips a little bit, that's telling me, that right there is telling me that it is going to just slam down. And I labeled it. I said, this is where exit needs to occur today. I wrote it down there, right? So, despite that, my thesis was, okay, well, there should be I'm thinking, okay, there's possibly a reversion trade that's possible. So now, by this time, it was like 0.5 R. Okay, it's down 0.5 R. I'm thinking to myself, holding this bag. Okay, I'm a bag holder. I'm holding the bag. I'm waiting for something exciting and positive to come in my way to fill up that bag. So I'm holding it. So it's 0.5 R at this stage. And I distinctly remember in my thought, maybe I should have gotten out at 0.2 R loss, right? I'm thinking, but still in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, it's I'm thinking to myself, it's got to reverse. Okay, it has to reverse. Okay. By this time, it's fluttering around. It's fluttering around zero point 0.7 and zero point 0.8 R. I'm thinking to myself, wow, I gotta, I gotta go wash dishes, and I'm like, I gotta wash dishes. I have to be there very very soon. I need to be there, right? So I'm thinking to myself, oh well, what have I gotten myself into? Oh, so the realities, my mind was thinking, my mind all that time was thinking, because I didn't set a concrete number, because it would just cave in. It would just there wasn't a concrete number that was embedded into my mind. And so what I ended up doing is just watching it just drop and drop and drop and chisel away the gain that I had. So if I were to, so the reality is, holding the bag can be very, very migraine. I mean, it can be filled with migraine and an enormous amount of headache. Okay. So the reality of this whole situation is, I have to figure out how to stop holding the bag. Okay. I'm expecting something, and I'm so fortunate that I belong to a club, UK spread breading, and the I suppose he's one of the founders, and he mentioned that, don't leave anything to chance. That's what he said, right? And so, not leaving anything to chance means that I have to have a concrete number, so that I can figure this. I can just set it, and then I just exit it. That's what I need to do, especially on a trade like that's essentially was really, it was after the fact. It just turns out to be a very serious manner, because it just turned out to be, it's like it's like grabbing a rope and then finding out that it's really not a rope, and it turns out to be a 50-foot python, right? That's what happened. Essentially, that's what happened. So, um, looking at this from a forensic, this I have to see. This is, if I can tell anyone in this whole world what is the most important thing in this whole scenario of day trading, it is cutting losses. It's cutting losses. Cutting losses is a very very sophisticated thing. And if I can just, I know that I'm currently not consistently profitable, uh, but I believe the reason why I'm not consistently profitable is because I don't know how to cut losses fast enough. Logically thinking, when I cut my losses at a certain point, then I can move on to a different trade that provides a higher return when things are moving in my direction. And then when the trade goes in the other direction, I can just cut it so that I can lose less. And so if the trade is 50-50, okay, if the trades are 50-50, it means that I am able to be positive. Okay, I am positive on a periodic basis, on a time frame of a period. I can be prosperous within that period. So the reality is, what is causing me, I have to figure this out. What is the mechanism? This is so crucial. This is so crucial. If I look back on the videos that I made, this essentially is the this is essentially the this is essentially the critical element in the entirety of this journey. If I look at every one of these from beginning to the end, the 70 heavy losses stems from this particular situation. So if I were to just single-handedly name something that is keeping me from becoming a consistently profitable day trader, it is that single thing. It's a common theme. Now, on all of these situations, when the trades are going well, it hides what the reality is because I don't have to make that tough decision, right? But when the trades are reversing, then there is a substantial amount of loss that is made that causes all the gains that I have to be erased. So I'm looking at this situation and attempting to understand how I can address this particular and the most important thing in day trading for me. This is something that's different for other people. However, for me, the most important aspects of day trading is knowing how to cut losses fast. So how do I do it? Because it's my concern is when I cut losses, it could throw off the percentage of my gains because I do have to weather a certain amount of drawdown. And if that drawdown is actually beyond that stop loss, then I will most likely the trades will lose most of the time, which means that it'll negate any gains that I have. So this is not something that I can fix on a single day. It's not going to be. It is a very difficult matter that I need to address, and I'm looking forward to addressing this issue because this is it. This is essentially, I mean, if I were to tell anybody if somebody asked me what is the most difficult part about day trading, is cutting losses fast. That is the most difficult part. Because if I win, I can win more times. And so small gains is great. I can just keep winning, right? Just add. It just adds up. The reality is I can work on that. I can work on the point where if I need to increase the time that I hold in order to gain, then I can just hold later on. But that whatever gains that I have is additive to my account. And so it's great. Now, how do I? So this is just opening the door. This is. I know that this is a. I know that this is. This essentially is a long-term problem solving situation. So this is just a seed.